I've had the pleasure and the frustration of tackling a lot of home improvement jobs. And one thing I've learned is that almost all of the ones that were frustrating were because I had the wrong tool. And it was always a delight to find out there's actually a great tool to do that job. Cutting tile with a diamond blade is a lot more fun than cracking it off with a hammer on the edge of a table. And you do better work. The first element of having the right team is having an operational strategy that allows us to deliver the thing that we most need to win in the marketplace. Now, entrepreneurial teams are often a hallmark of these teams is how flexible they need to be and can be. And project teams in general can be very flexible and can be put together in a lot of different ways, and you can respond to needs on a quick turnaround basis. But there's another element that I really want you to think about, and that is the DNA that you're building into your organization. Because you're going to make decisions as you build this company or as you plan it that will impact what things you can do really well because you have the right tools, the right rewards, the right systems, and things are going to be very hard for you to do. And you don't want to end up in a situation where the things that are hard to do are the things that need to happen in order for you to win. So the business model and the basis of your sustainable advantage that we've been digging into and finding out is what has to drive the structure of and the composition of your operations. So a couple elements of that come out to be pretty important. What are you going to do yourself? What are you going to have outsourced? And secondly, what kind of systems are you putting in place to attract, reward, and motivate the right talent? How do you prioritize that? Because those get embedded into your culture, they become your DNA. You want to cement the right things in place so you can win and keep on winning. There's really a palette of only 3 colors to work with. Let's look at what they are. The 3 corners of our operational space are really talking about 3 different ways that customers decide why they buy from you. Now, the one at the top is everybody's favorite who's a techie. We want to be the most innovative product there is, and people have to buy our product because there just flat isn't anything better. That's fun. But it's different from having a single product that's really innovative and having a culture that produces products over and over and over again that lead an industry. Now, when I ask people who do they know that this embodies this strategy, almost everybody's first answer is Apple. They tend to lead with design and product innovations. That's clearly what they're trying to do. iPhones were at a whole new price point when they came out, as an example, and we lined up to pay for them. Now, another way you can win is on the side of that's kind of the opposite end of the spectrum in some ways, called operational excellence or cost efficiency. Now, if I could take a poll in this room, I'm sure that one of the answers that would come up, like, who does that remind you of? People would say Walmart. Walmart's business is all built on driving efficiency in the entire supply chain. They're just tremendous at that. And as a result, a lot of people buy things from them instead of shopping elsewhere because they're there for that operational efficiency. The third dimension, one projecting from the screen, is around customer intimacy. Now, no company can afford to not know its customers or serve its customers. But there are people who command a price premium and live with less than totally optimal efficiency in order to be able to flexibly respond to the needs that customers have on a quick turnaround basis. When I was running chemical plants, for example, whether you were competing on customer intimacy or operational excellence made a difference in how soon do you reinvest in capacity. If you want efficiency, you don't do it until you're already running 110% of the nameplate. If you want to be able to respond every time a customer has an urgent need, you better add capacity by the time you get to 85%. that makes a huge difference in cost structure, and you have to be doing it because it's how you win. You don't do it because of how you like to operate necessarily. You do it because of how the customers you're trying to sell to make their decisions about their priority for these three factors. There's two levels of performance you need to understand. The blue line is the line drawn by your customers' preferences. It gives the combination of operational excellence, innovation, and customer intimacy that is going to move them into the space of saying, I'll buy that. Because nobody wants only one of these things. The question is how they play against each other and what the customer's priority is in what they buy. We need to be able to say, what does being innovative look like? How much of that do I need to do to be the preferred supplier? What does customer intimacy look like the way this customer group is expecting it? How much of that do I need in order to be the preferred supplier? And if I have all that the customer wants, but I just price myself out of the market, well, guess what? I'm not going to be able to be that preferred choice. So there is, as that statement implies, a red line where your performance drops to a point where you just become disqualified. The easiest one to think about is the one about price. Your operational excellence can be so bad that they won't, no matter how much they love your service or how innovative your product is, they can't afford to buy that product to do that job they need, and so you're not in consideration. You also can't be so behind on innovation that you're still trying to sell rotary phones. There's a place where you just don't get considered anymore. When you design your operational strategy and build your operating team, you have to know how are you going to win. And remember that both of these profiles are defined not by your preferences, but by your customers. And therefore, they're going to change as you go from one customer set, one segment, to another. How you compete drives how you build your team and how you win. So when we've taken the time to talk to enough customers, maybe even, and in the industry-based jobs I had, it was often hard to get customers to tell us directly how they viewed their choices and why they bought this one and why they bought that one. Sometimes you have to employ a third-party survey so that you can get people to talk to you. But getting that data is crucial if you're going to build a team that can win and keep winning. So once we do that and we get us at least a good hypothesis about these things, then we can drive some rethinking. First of all, we have to rethink, can we do this? Can we get there from here? Is the talent, the team that we have able to deliver this kind of performance? Does the distance between what you have now and what the market needs change your view of whether your customer prioritization is? And does it raise new possibilities for you to seek partners? Those are three key questions, because you don't necessarily have to do anything. If you come up great on two dimensions and you need some help on a third, any of these kinds of realizations can drive you in the direction of either changing your goal or changing your approach. You can either get more help, or maybe it's a cause to realize you aren't suited as well as you thought you were for that customer, and you need to move a little bit left or right on your page to get there. This lesson has been about the external things that drive your operations. Next time, we're going to look inside our own teams and our own companies and identify the obstacles and the issues that we have to overcome to make sure that we can lead in a direction that we're trying to go.